Hello children, welcome to my class. How are you children? Right? Everyone is fit and fine? Okay. Now today we are, as you know, we already started revision, right? Now we are on the topic that is religion and empire. And this is the one topic, this is another topic, old and new religions. Before we start this topic, let me recall what we studied last. Many of you send me mails. Exactly, that is good. I really appreciate you. You are doing very good work. And for this, we will go to the first topic, what we studied. I think so. We discussed about new religion and new caste like Rajputanas and Jats and all. Right. Now, in this topic, region and empowerment, how gradually they become a region and how gradually they come to the old and new religion. This topic, it's somewhat you feel boring, the children, but still you have to learn, right? So, some regions came in that you are going to study. That is number one, that Cholas you are going to study in second chapter. Third chapter you are going to study about the Mughals, and gradually you are going to study all the empires, right? And old and new religion, now how the new religion emerged, we are going to study in this topic, as well as we, with the help of PPT you will understand. I hope you are understanding with the help of PPT. As you know, this is revision, and when you go earlier books and all, you will find many things. See, your history is so vast, so please try to understand what is minimum I am giving you. By that you can understand these are the topic. Keep your pen, pencil or your notebook and textbook in front of you. By that you can write the points, right? Okay children, so we will follow as we follow with the PPTs. देखेंगे अच्छा है तो करने. Let me start with the PPT. Old and new religions, right? The religion word means, as you know what is meant by of religion. I will not tell you, but how the people become, how the religion form. Sometime think critically that how this religion form. Now let me give you an example, because this history is nothing but is a witness how the religion form, right? When you explore you will come to know. So people believe in divine, was actually deeply believe in divine means God. But when you find so many people collectively believing on same God, so it become a religion. Like I can say you Sikhism, people started believing into Guru Nanak or Guru Gobind Singh, so it become everyone is started believing, so they form a religion. Like Hinduism also, people started Vishnu and it's become a religion. So religion is nothing but very closely contact with the social and economical organization of the local communities. So here one line is given here, the tribes ideas of the worship enter in Hinduism. The tribals also started following Hinduism, so they become Hindus. So building of temple and they are following the temples, they become a Hindus. So like this the religion, old religion converted into new religion. And there is one word in your textbook on page number 11, that is patron, Patrons, that is an influence or wealthy individual who supports another person, a learned man or a noble. Here means a person, if you are somebody telling come on this is so good, your influences is like that कि मैं ये भगवान को मानता हूँ, इसको मानता हूँ, या बहुत अच्छा अपनी मन्नत पूरी होती है, तो we started believing on that. So here patrons are the persons, a wealthy individual who support another person. A person is a patron who believing on one god, or learned man or a noble man. That influence is given by the these people. So the knowledge of Sanskrit texts earned by the Brahmins, they got lot of respect. So we are going to see the next point. It is that the Brahmins become wealthy and powerful. Now, why the Brahmins become wealthy and powerful? There are some reasons behind that. Actually, let me tell you, I think so in 6th standard we studied the knowledge of Sanskrit text was mostly gained by or earned by the Brahmins. So they got a lot of respect in society. Their domination position becoming day by day, or that time becoming more and more patronage. So the rulers are patronized learned Brahmins and granted them a tax-free land. So what happened? The Brahmins are doing a lot of work. So this point is very important, and next lessons this will be going to come. So the rulers are becoming very. That means the Brahmins are becoming so important. Why? Because of the rulers. Rulers want a learned Brahmins by that for their prestige. So what they used to do, they used to grant them a land without tax-free land. Come on, you have done lot of job for me. You are well पंडित, बहुत आप महान पंडित हो, हमारा संस्कृत का ज्ञान प्राप्त किया है आपने, तो आपको लैंड दी जाएंगी. So thus the many Brahmins become wealthy and powerful. ऐसे ही the Brahmins become wealthy and powerful because of this, and they've got a lot of respect in society, and they use their power to make their caste rules and regulations or caste and religious norms very rigid. So what happened? They got a power, and when they got a power, they make their rules and regulation, and they make casteism. And I already discussed you in 6th standard also this thing, how they create a casteism. So they started making the caste, and the norms are very rigid norms. By that they become more and more powerful. So by this, towards the end of the ancient period, around 7th century AD, several Hindu religious thinkers of South India started challenging the Brahmin domination. They were telling how they are challenging, how the Pandit is so clever, or how the Brahmin is so clever. So many thinkers in South India. They stressed on bhakti, that is a personal devotion of the God, without the help of middleman, the Brahmin priest. This is called a bhakti movement. So what they did, they thought ki why there is a Brahmin we needed, we can follow God directly, we have a personal devotion to the God, हमारा कनेक्शन भगवान से खुद ही है, वो ब्राह्मण को हमको क्यों बीच में लाना है. So they started their movement, that bhakti movement they started, and this movement becomes so play a vital role in history. So this idea of bhakti, of loving the personal deity or that devotion, could be reached without aid of any priest की हमको ज़रूरत नहीं है. And elaborate the rituals, no, we don't want any more rituals. And this you are going to study, actually this point bhakti movement you are going to study in 8th chapter. I already told you, my dear children, this lesson is nothing but recap of all lessons, what you are going to study in what lessons. So this lesson is so much is important. So in North India it began around 13 AD. In South India it becomes 7th AD, but in North India this was began around 13th century AD. The bhakti movement attract the people of all section of the society, all the poor, rich, all started bhakti movement. And in our Maharashtra you also studied in 4th standard how the bhakti movement, Dhaneshwar, Tukaram and all people, right? As we talking about the Hinduism, now we will talk about Islam, because this is also one religion. How this Islam emerged, we are going to see in this one of the lesson of your history, but how it is introduced. So Islam is a religion of Muslim, arose by the Arabia in 7th century AD. And I was telling you, this history is from 700 to 750 AD. So in 7th century, the Islam introduced, arose from Arabia. Islam is centric on the belief in only one God, Allah, and all the teaching of his last prophet Muhammad, that is Prophet Muhammad. He only started with that Islam, and Prophet Muhammad, it was already Allah. I told you Allah means only one God. They believe in that God only, and they believe that those who have love, mercy and butni, embarrassed all this who are believing him, without regret of social background. They don't believe on any background. They believe only एक ही एक है जो है वो अल्लाह है. They believe. While as Hinduism we are believing on Vishnu, then we are Shiv and Durga. We are divided. But here is only one God, that is Allah. Right. So let me tell you one thing, that many rulers were patrons of Islam, and the ulema, that is learn of theologist or theologian. Theologian means a person who have a study of God, and jurist means a judge or a law who knows the law. And like Hinduism, Islam is also interpreted in the variety of ways by its followers. There are also how Hinduism we are divided, Vishnu and like this, what you call Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, we divided. Here Islam is also divided into two things, interpretation, that means following of the people. You can find there were Shias and who believe the Prophet Muhammad, that is son-in-law, and Ali. Let me discuss this some points which I have given here. After Prophet Muhammad death, the Khilaf or Khalifa, that is Khalif, successfully him as a religious and the political head of the Muslim committee. Prophet Muhammad passed away, and the Khalif जो मस्जिद में रहता था उसको खलीफ रहता, head of the committee रहता वो. Later the committee split into two sects like Shias and Sunnis. After that pass away of the what you call Prophet Muhammad, then this committee divided into two parts, that is Shias and Sunnis. The Shias regarded the Muhammad son-in-law, that Ali, as a prophet, true successor. जो Shias थे वो मुस्लिम के कमिटी के जो Shias थे वो प्रोफेट मोहम्मद के फॉलोवर हो गए. सन इन लॉ था प्रोफेट मोहम्मद का जिसका नाम था अली. All become a follower, so they become a Shias. But Sunnis believe that that Khalif should be chosen as a whole committee. और जो Sunnis थे वो सोचते थे जो मस्जिद में बैठा है खलीफ वो हेड रहना चाहिए पूरी कमेटी का. Till now Shias and Sunnis always fight. I think so in Arab countries you will find that ki how there are so many controversies between Shias and Sunnis. So apart from the Quran, they also followed Suhana, that is a custom of law based on the deeds of the words of Muhammad. So they also follow so many Suhan and all what they have, and they also have there were also important difference between their various schools of law. There are schools of law, they are called Hanafi and Safi, middle of India, and these schools used to teach them about the God. So this is how the Muslim or Islam religion emerged, right? Then we'll discuss about some of Sufism. From around 8th century, some of the Muslim began to be influenced by Hindus, Greek and Muslim Buddhist religious idea. They influence after Muslim also influence about Hindu and Greek Buddhism idea. They like it, and they gave rise a faith of that is called Sufism. Sufi philosophers are basically Islamic. Beside the devotion of one God, it preached brotherhood among the men. After the Turkish invention, many Sufi saints came to India to spread their faith. तो ये सूफी भी एक तरह का धर्म बन गया, because they follow the Muslim only. They are Muslim only. They follow the Hinduism and Greek and Buddhism, and they feel कि there is nothing but one God, devotion of one God, and they want to create a brotherhood in the community or in the society. So they started Sufism. And after the Turkish people invention in India, many Sufi saints came to India. There are so many songs in film industry that Sufi. फतेह अली खान के जो सॉन्ग है वो सूफियाना अंदाज में गाते थे और वो सूफ़ी सॉन्ग थे. तो वो फतेह अली खान वहाँ का ही है, सूफ़ी है वो, मोस्टली ही फ्रॉम द पाकिस्तान. सो दे आर सूफीज. सो दिस इज ऑल्सो एमर्ज्ड. Let me discuss some small topic thinking about the time and historian periods. I will give you little information regarding this, not more than 2 minutes. This is just how the historian divided this period into Hindu, Muslim and British what problem they face at the time of periodization, this history. See, it is not easy task to understand whole history. So how, because of that, the historian divided history as per the rulers. Like when you see the first period is Hinduism period, because that time all these people were ruling, Cholas and Guptas and all. So that is a Hindu period. People, their culture is about Hinduism only. Then in middle period you come to know that is Mughals were ruling. So it is Mughal period or medieval period, you can say, where they are telling as a Muslim. And next is about British. They are given the British because British started ruling the India. So naturally this period is also called as a this period is also, sorry, this period is also called as consider. Okay. Then what, write down the problems associated with the periodization of Indian history as given in the British historian in the middle 19th century. Now what were the problems they face, we will see. In the middle of 19th century, British historian divided Indian history into three periods: Hindu, Muslim and British. The division was based on the idea that the religion of the ruler, because first Hinduism was ruling, second Muslim were ruling, and third were British were ruling. So it was important for historical change, how they will understand about the economy and the culture. So that is why they want to change. And when you see the historian, last year we studied a society was the hunters and gatherers, early farmers. It come in the Hinduism only. Such division also ignored by the rich diversity. Now why they used to do this, that there was no other significant development in the economy, society and culture. So there was not that to recognize what happened in that period. There was no any changes, no that much changes, economy changes, no society changes are there. So such division is also ignored by the rich diversity of the subcontinent. Many of people ignore this. So few of the historians followed this periodization today. They followed, actually, when the British came to India, they first studied the history of India. They are, they are very, what you call critical thinker. So they started in that way. They study all history, how the people, how the societies, how the economy is, and how the culture of the people, what the people eat, how their tradition and custom, all they studied. You are going to study in 8th standard about this, but I am talking about the medieval period. Few historians follow the periodization today. Most look to the economy and social factor to characterize the major elements of the different movements of the past. Many of the things, there are very rich people that time, and economy was so good, so money, where population was also very less, and social factors are also there. So they major the religion, and arrival of European of the East India Company also came in this period. So all these things are important as per the historians. And after all, the 16th to 18th century was quite different from the 8th to 11th century. When you study 6th standard and when you study this standard, you will definitely come to know what is that. And modernity carry with the sense of material progress, intellectual advance was developed, and this seems to be suggest the medieval period was lacking of any other change whatever. So but of course we know this was not a case. We know that this transformation of economy was there in several region. So East India Company, when they come, there was a change, but still there was not that much change. So we are going to study all about in further chapter what changes has came and how we are going to look all these things. So this is your lesson. I took as a revision. You please go through the lesson, read the page number 14, page number 12 and 13 carefully. You will get the revision and write the points. By that you will understand. I hope you understand the topic. Thank you and God bless you.